Airport security can feel like a hassle, but sometimes it uncovers the most unbelievable surprises. From hidden secrets beneath a toupee to a sack full of wriggling eels, you won't believe what people try to sneak past the scanners. What else might be lurking in travelers' bags? Here are 20 of the craziest things airport security has ever discovered. Airport security at Bangkok International Airport found a 3-month-old tiger cub hidden in a woman's suitcase on her flight to Iran. The sedated animal was placed next to a stuffed toy to fool X-ray operators. The bag's overweight status led to an X-ray that revealed the live animal, prompting animal protection officers to intervene. The woman claimed ignorance, saying someone else had asked her to carry the suitcase, but this seemed unlikely given its weight. She was detained and investigated under strict wildlife transport laws in Thailand. Reports indicate a large exotic pet trade in Iran, but the young animal's fragile condition suggested it likely would not have survived the 5-hour journey confined and sedated. The security team's intervention probably saved its life. A man at Barcelona airport drew security's attention due to an unusually large hairpiece. Arriving from Bogota, Colombia, the oversized wig raised concerns. Hidden underneath was nearly 1 pound of prohibited substances valued at approximately $34,000. Spanish authorities quickly took him into custody. While some choose creative concealment methods like enhanced body features or hollowed fruit, he selected a very noticeable spot. Carrying such a disguised item can cause significant discomfort beyond simple self-awareness. Next, about a speechless discovery by airport security because of a passenger's stupid decision. A passenger traveling to the Dominican Republic had his carry-on checked at Newark International Airport after scanners noticed unusual items. These were 6 smoke devices wrapped in protective bubble wrap. While owning and carrying these devices is allowed in New Jersey, bringing them in carry-on luggage is prohibited. If activated during a flight, the cabin could fill with smoke, creating alarm and confusion for everyone on board. Security flagged the bag during X-ray screening and removed the devices. The passenger was permitted to hand them over to a friend not traveling, then continued his trip. The reason for carrying 6 smoke devices to the Dominican Republic remains unclear. In 2021, a 39-year-old man was stopped at a New York City airport attempting to bring 35 live songbirds into the country. The birds were discreetly placed inside plastic hair curlers sewn into his clothing. The curlers had tiny holes to allow the birds to breathe during their journey from Guyana. Most were finches and canaries, prized in underground singing events where they can fetch high prices. The man said he was promised $5,000 to deliver them to a contact in the US. This hidden trade is harmful, as many birds suffer from stress, lack of air, or dehydration during travel. After his arrest, he faced several years in prison and heavy fines for wildlife violations. The birds were rescued and entrusted to animal care groups. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you won't miss our upcoming journeys. But just when you think that's wild, wait until you hear about the traveler caught with a live alligator illegally given in a suitcase. At Munich Airport in Germany, a 42-year-old American traveler was found carrying a small live alligator wrapped in plastic inside his suitcase on a flight to Singapore. The reptile, about 1.5 feet long, was discovered during a standard X-ray scan. It was in poor condition after the stressful confined trip without proper care. The man said he had purchased the alligator as a pet during a visit to the United States, but his actions went against Germany's animal welfare regulations. He was detained for attempting to move the exotic creature across borders without permission. The alligator was transferred to a local reptile care center for recovery. The man now faces possible fines and jail time. This case shows the serious consequences of transporting protected species improperly. If you want to see more interesting airport security finds, I have also added a direct link to the video in the comments section pinned below this video. And don't forget to come back. The next discovery is about 2 young men hidden inside mattresses at the Ceuta border crossing. In 2015, Spanish border officials discovered 2 young men discreetly concealed inside mattresses at the Ceuta border crossing. These individuals were not involved in wrongdoing but were facing desperate circumstances, taking great risks in search of a better future. They endured being quietly enclosed within the mattresses, transported with other goods, hoping to find safety and support their loved ones. The mattresses appeared ordinary, but scans revealed their hidden presence. When uncovered, the young men were in very poor condition, struggling to breathe after spending days confined in tight spaces. People do not leave their homes or take such risks for excitement. They do so because they see no other path to survival. This poignant story reflects the serious challenges faced by many displaced people around the world, all striving for a basic opportunity to live with dignity. In 2021, a mother and daughter tried to board a flight from New York to Berlin with a 91-year-old man in a wheelchair, claiming he was simply resting. The women, aged 41 and 66, planned to move the man's remains without proper paperwork, aiming to bypass the costly and complex official process. Airport staff became concerned when the man showed no response to any stimulus. Further checks revealed the man had passed away several days prior. The women were detained and faced charges for moving the remains without permission and not informing authorities. This case prompted a review of airport security protocols, especially for passengers with mobility needs. It highlights the lengths some go to avoid formalities, even in sensitive situations, and underscores the need for airport security to be ready for all possibilities. Security scanners are designed to detect certain shapes, yet a man wrapped a small firearm in aluminum foil and hid it inside a DVD player. The item was found in checked luggage at New York's JFK Airport before a flight to Mexico. The foil did not block X-rays. Scanners easily revealed the object's shape. While such items are banned in carry-on bags, U.S. law permits them in checked luggage under strict rules if declared properly. Had he followed procedures, legal transport would have been possible. Instead, he concealed it improperly and faced arrest, charges, and heavy fines. In 2019, TSA intercepted over 4,000 restricted items at checkpoints, many ready for use. Such carelessness risks everyone's safety. In 2015, a man was stopped at Hong Kong airport carrying 94 smartphones strapped to his body, attempting to bring them into mainland China, where the new device release had been delayed. The plan failed early on. Carrying so many devices affected his walk, which drew customs officials' attention. The phones were attached to various parts of his body, concealed under a loose red sweater and baggy trousers. He walked through a metal detector with all 94 devices on him. Alarms went off, making it impossible to hide them. The phones were highly valued in China due to the delayed release, fueling a busy but unauthorized market. Officials likely wondered if the devices were switched off, as active electronics during a flight could interfere with aircraft systems. At New York's JFK Airport in 2022, customs officers noticed a passenger's wheelchair wasn't moving smoothly, leading to one of the largest seizures that year. Upon closer inspection, nearly 28 pounds of a controlled substance were found concealed inside the wheelchair's wheels and hubs. The items had an estimated street value of over $450,000 and were carefully hidden to keep the wheelchair looking normal. The passenger, a 22-year-old woman from the Dominican Republic, said she was unaware of the concealed items. She appeared to have been targeted by an illegal buy group because her use of a wheelchair might reduce the likelihood of thorough searches. This case shows how criminal groups exploit vulnerable individuals, using disabilities as a cover for hidden transport. The woman faced federal charges while the items were handed to authorities for investigation. It's a reminder that smugglers will use any means, no matter how unethical, to move their goods. In 2019, at Manila's Ninoy Aquino International Airport, officials discovered 25,500 live turtles, concealed in 4 unattended suitcases. Many were rare and protected species, such as Philippine forest turtles and Asian box turtles. The turtles were tightly secured with tape and placed in luggage without access to food, water, or fresh air. They were found during routine X-ray inspections of unclaimed bags. Officers were deeply concerned by their poor condition. Many showed signs of distress and difficulty. These turtles held significant value on the black market, attracting unwanted attention from unauthorized collectors. The suitcases originated from Hong Kong and were linked to a network involved in the unlawful pet trade across Southeast Asia and China. The turtles that survived were transferred to care specialists, though many did not survive the journey. This incident underscores the serious issues surrounding wildlife trafficking and the importance of global efforts to address these challenges. These creatures faced considerable hardship due to illicit activities driven by profit. What's the most unbelievable thing you've ever seen or heard about at airport security? Share your story below. A German professor at Rome's airport caught the attention of customs officials due to an unusual item in his suitcase, a human skull. He explained that he didn't realize transporting such items was restricted. He said he obtained the skull from a market stall for about $55 and noted it was well polished but missing the lower jaw. The professor was held for possession without proper authorization. The skull was sent for DNA testing to help identify its origin. This situation raises questions about the market, the professor's decisions, and the item's history. It shows how regulations on such items vary widely, and a lack of knowledge is not a valid defense. Travelers should always check what they can carry across borders, whether for artistic use or personal reasons. A German couple's suitcase at Amsterdam airport caused quite a stir. It contained around 200 live tarantulas, along with boxes of millipedes, beetles, and grasshoppers, enough to unsettle anyone uneasy around insects. Traveling from Peru to Germany, their luggage appeared unusual during a routine scan. When opened, many of the creatures took the opportunity to escape their containers. Imagine grasshoppers jumping, spiders moving quickly across the floor, and beetles crawling into bags. Airport staff rushed to regain control while nearby passengers likely felt alarmed. The scene cleared the terminal almost as fast as an emergency alert. Once all were safely contained and counted, the insects were confiscated. The couple faced serious charges for trying to transport protected species. But the lingering concern remains. Did all the tarantulas get captured? Officials said yes, but passengers might still wonder if a few were hiding in the corners. A woman arriving in Melbourne from Singapore was stopped when customs officers noticed an unusual sound near her waist. Upon inspection, they found she was wearing an apron with multiple pockets containing bags of live fish, almost like carrying a small mobile aquarium. Australia's strict customs regulations take the transport of wildlife very seriously, with significant consequences for violations. Authorities needed to verify the fish species before determining the appropriate actions, as some could be protected. The sight of someone carrying live fish this way is unusual and raises questions about how she managed it and what her intentions were after passing through customs. During a routine end-of-day aircraft check, cleaning staff found 2 bags containing 24 gold bars hidden in an airplane bathroom. The flight had traveled from Mumbai to Bangkok earlier that day. It's puzzling how such valuable items worth about $1.2 million and weighing 53 pounds were left behind in such a small space with no immediate notice. Airplane bathrooms have limited space, making it hard to imagine where these bags could be concealed unnoticed. Was it an intentional drop for retrieval later? Did someone abandon them in a moment of distress? Could it have been part of a larger operation that went awry? Authorities have not shared details, leaving this as one of aviation's most curious lost and found stories. A man traveling from Vietnam to Russia passed through several security checkpoints with a suitcase making unusual noises. When customs finally inspected his luggage, they found 5 baby monkeys and 5 baby lemurs inside wicker boxes. The young animals had endured the long journey without enough food, water, or fresh air and were in poor condition from stress. The man was detained and faced charges related to animal welfare and unauthorized transport, while the surviving animals were sent to a zoo for care. It's puzzling how the suitcase passed multiple checks unnoticed despite the sounds. This case highlights the serious issues around the illegal wildlife trade and the ongoing need to protect vulnerable species. Before we move to the next stories, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Let me know in the comments which discovery surprised you the most. Don't miss out on our next mind-blowing discoveries. Subscribe now and join our community of truth seekers exploring the world's strangest tales. In 2015, images went viral showing the extreme measures people take for a better future. Spanish Guardia Civil found an 8-year-old boy being transported into the Spanish enclave of Ceuta inside a wheeled suitcase. The boy was in poor condition after being carried like cargo by a woman who said she was paid by the boy's father to get the suitcase through customs. This isn't about profit-driven smuggling, it's about a father so desperate to reunite his family that he took a grave risk to bypass harsh immigration rules. No parent would do this if they had other options. The boy was reunited with his mother, but many similar stories happen worldwide. Families don't want to separate or risk their children. They do so because they feel no other choice exists. A 28-year-old Canadian woman was stopped at Bogota Airport in Colombia, carrying 2 kilograms of a controlled substance hidden inside a realistic pregnancy belly as she tried to board a flight to Canada. Officials grew suspicious when the pregnancy bump felt unusually cool and firm. A closer look revealed a significant amount of the substance concealed inside the latex form, valued at hundreds of thousands on the street. It's important to remember that those caught transporting such items are often not the main beneficiaries. These individuals, sometimes called couriers, are frequently vulnerable people pressured or manipulated by larger criminal networks. The woman now faces a lengthy prison term far from home, while the organizers behind the scheme remain free and continue profiting. Many at the lower levels take part out of financial need, threats, or coercion. Judging those caught is easy, but the full picture often involves exploitation and complex circumstances, with the true masterminds avoiding direct consequences. At Chennai International Airport in India, a 37-year-old traveler's unusually large hairpiece drew the attention of customs officers for understandable reasons. Upon closer examination, officials found about 1.5 pounds of gold, valued at approximately $43,000, carefully shaped into thin sheets and concealed beneath the wig. The attempt to discreetly transport the metal was ultimately unsuccessful. India, a major consumer of gold, experiences many cases like this due to high taxes and import duties. Gold is often hidden in clothing, footwear, on the body, and even in hair accessories. This passenger arrived from Dubai, a prominent gold trading hub, likely believing the plan was foolproof. Instead, the oversized hairpiece made him stand out to seasoned customs officers familiar with such methods. He was detained and faces significant consequences, while the confiscated gold is expected to be auctioned. His hopes for easy gain through this strategy were completely thwarted. Sometimes, an obvious disguise only invites closer scrutiny. A traveler flying from Madrid to China was carrying 48 live eels in their checked luggage. Had these slippery creatures gotten loose during the flight, it could have caused quite a disturbance. Fortunately, the eels were stored in specially chilled cases to keep them contained. Transporting live eels on commercial flights without proper authorization is prohibited. The entire group was seized and sent to the Madrid aquarium to identify the species, since some are protected and subject to stricter regulations. The travelers face fines and possible legal consequences. The purpose behind moving so many eels, whether for farming, culinary use, or other reasons, remains unclear. Here are the 20 most unbelievable airport security discoveries worldwide. Next time you wait in security lines, remember agents look beyond weapons. They safeguard endangered species, fight trafficking, and uncover bizarre stories that become global legends. Tell me in the comments which discovery surprised you most. Have you seen anything unusual at airport security? If you enjoyed these stories, subscribe and hit the notification bell for more amazing true tales. Check out the videos on screen now for more incredible discoveries. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video with even more mind-blowing truths.
Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.